Hello, scholars. Today's lesson is going to be on author's purpose. The learning target is I will identify the author's purpose. What's the verb in that learning target? What are we going to do? We are going to identify. Awesome. An author's purpose, that is a new concept for us, so we are going to learn more about that. But for now, I want you to just think that author's purpose has to do with why. Why? So when I say author's purpose, you say why. Author's purpose, author's purpose. Then our success criteria is I can write the author's purpose using evidence from the text. Again, what's our verb? What are we going to do? Correct. We're going to write. And what are we going to write? Correct. The author's purpose. When I say author's purpose, you say the why. Author's purpose, the why. And using evidence from the text is nothing new. What does the text say? The text says, or I know because the text says. So we're going to use evidence from the text to support why do we think the author wrote the passage. So there are several different reasons why an author can write. The first is persuade. Persuade means the author is trying to convince the reader of something. So, for example, the article is about how to save an endangered animal. Why would you even want to save an endangered animal? The author would tell you why. It would persuade you to try and save those endangered animals. The next author's purpose or the reason why is inform. Inform means the author gives information about a topic. An example of that is nonfiction books about animal facts. We are all engaged in our animal research right now, and most of our books right now, the purpose is to inform the reader about the topic. The next reason why an author can write a book is to explain. That means the author writes the steps the reader will follow. So before we left school in March, we all were writing how-to books. How to tie your shoe, how to bake cookies. And here's another example. It's directions on how to build a birdhouse. This week in science, you are building a birdhouse. So if you were going to write about it, you would write steps on how the person who was building the birdhouse would follow. Another author's purpose is to entertain. When I say entertain, you say ha ha ha. Entertain, ha ha ha. Entertain, ha ha ha. That means the writer writes about something you will enjoy. That's why we did our little chuckle. An example of that is a fiction book with characters and a plot. So, what happened in the beginning, middle, and end? And maybe there was something in there that made you laugh. Or maybe there was a problem, some type of entertainment, something that you would enjoy. Maybe it was even a mystery. The last author purpose is describe. That means the author uses some of the senses to tell about a topic. Now, there are 5 senses. Can you think of them? If you name something like your sight, your smell, your touch, your taste, or your hearing, then you are right on track because an author can write because it wants to have insights about the sounds, the smells of a particular thing. And in this example, it's a particular place. So maybe you're writing all about grandma's house. All right, scholars, so let's jump right on in. The passage that we're going to use today to identify the author's purpose, when I say author's purpose, you say why. Author's purpose, author's purpose. The topic today is sign language. So let's read to figure out the author's purpose. One test taking strategy is to look at the questions first before you read so that while you're reading, you can think about the answers to those questions. So question number 1 is identify the author's purpose. Is mostly conveyed by answering a question, describing something, or explaining something. Number 2, what is the author's purpose for writing this text? So that's the What does the text say? The text says, using evidence from the text, figuring out that author's purpose. Then number 3 is identify what sign language is. Sign language. People who are deaf or hard of hearing are unable to hear noises. When people talk, they cannot hear them. They have adapted to this disability by using sign language to communicate. Sign language is the use of hands and arms to speak. Different hand movements can represent different words. Some words don't have a hand movement. Those words are spelled out. People sign these using the sign language alphabet. Names of people and places are often spelled out. So again, if I went back to my author's purpose chart, is it persuade, inform, explain, entertain, or describe? Why did the author write this passage? Was it to convince, give us information, tell us steps on how to do something, write about something that the reader will enjoy, or describe something through our senses? Well, when I look back at the text, it was telling me all about sign language. Some things that were important were people who are deaf or hard at hearing are unable to hear noises. And they use a special language called sign language to communicate. In that sign language, we have that key detail that sign language is the use of your hands and arms to speak. And sometimes another key detail is words are spelled out using that alphabet, the sign language alphabet. So if I go to my questions, I think I'm now confidently ready to answer the 3 questions. Identify how the author's purpose is mostly conveyed. Do you think it's to answer a question, describe something, or explain something? I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about it. Correct. It is explain something. The author was explaining all about sign language, how it's used, why it's used, who uses it. Now, what is the author's purpose for writing this text? Using race to respond, turning around the question, how would I start my sentence? What is the author's purpose for writing this text? The sentence stem is, turn around that question. Yes, the author's purpose for writing this text is to explain who uses sign language, what is sign language, and why do people, oh, I think I found, I remember another one, how to use sign language, and why some people use sign language. I know because the text says sign language is used to communicate for people who are deaf or hard of hearing or unable to hear noises. I know because the text says sign language is used for communication for people who are deaf or have a hard time hearing noises. So, what is sign language? Let me go back to my text to double check. It says sign language is the use of hands and arms to speak. Different hand movements can represent different words. Some words don't have a hand movement. Those words are spelled out. People sign these using the sign language alphabet. So turning around the question, identify what sign language is. Sign language is the use of hands and arms to speak. Some movements represent whole words, while some words are spelled out using the sign language alphabet. All right, scholars. So if I go back to our learning target and success criteria, our success criteria today was I can write the author's purpose using evidence from the text. Go ahead and give yourself a 4, 3, 2, or a 1. A 4 means that you can be the person making this video and you can teach other scholars what author purpose is. A 3 means I get it. I know how to identify the author's purpose using the PIDE acronym, and I can use evidence from the text to support my answer. Or maybe you're a 2. Maybe you can identify the author's purpose with evidence from the text, but you still need a little bit of help of pointing out where that evidence could come from or what exactly is that author's purpose. And you have to look back at that anchor chart to help you out. Or is it a 1? I really don't understand author's purpose yet, so I'm going to rewatch this video at least one more time and try and follow along with Mrs. Sutton on my own piece of paper or whiteboard. All right, scholars, thank you for joining me today for author's purpose, and I look forward to looking at your iReady scores this week on your iReady lessons on author's purpose.